Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right past the hypervisor hype to uncover the invisible software layer that's literally holding your entire virtualization stack together. Chapter 14 of our source material lays this out perfectly. Most IT pros spend their entire careers thinking about CPU scheduling, memory ballooning, or network switches. But underneath all of that, there's a file system quietly doing the absolute hardest work in the stack. So ask yourself, what's the real cost when a file system fails or when it's just mismatched to your workload? We're talking about silent data corruption, VM stalls, or a complete metadata collapse. It's exactly the kind of thing that wakes you up in a cold sweat at 2 a.m. because the file system reads and writes absolutely every byte of every virtual machine's disk, memory snapshot, and configuration file. If this foundational layer isn't optimized, the most expensive hardware in the world isn't going to save you from operational pain. To demystify all this, we're going to cover, first, the hidden foundation, second, key mechanics, third, traditional heavyweights, fourth, purpose-built and HCI, fifth, the decision framework, and finally, avoiding pitfalls. All right, Section 1, the hidden storage foundation, the city planner of your IT. Think of the file system as your storage's city planner. It essentially decides how raw land, or disk space, gets divided up into usable blocks. It dictates exactly where the buildings, your files, get constructed and how the city maintains records of absolutely everything through metadata. And most importantly, it dictates what happens when an earthquake, like a sudden power failure, hits right in the middle of construction. A bad city plan, that leads to urban sprawl, traffic jams, and collapsed buildings. But a good one handles rapid growth and disaster recovery without breaking a sweat. If you try to force a general-purpose file system into a spot where a highly specialized one is needed, you are going to face very real operational pain. We're talking performance bottlenecks that show up as VM stalls under heavy I/O pressure. We're talking silent data corruption, where file systems without checksumming leave your VMs in totally inconsistent states, which is a true nightmare scenario. Plus, you'll hit scalability walls, capping your file sizes, and face massive operational complexity, from snapshot sprawl to devastating metadata corruption on a shared data store. Okay, moving on to Section 2, key file system mechanics, the vocabulary of storage. First up is journaling. A journal is basically a write-ahead log. Think of it like a master chef writing down every single step of a complex recipe before they actually start cooking. If the power cuts out midway through, they don't have to throw everything in the trash. They know exactly where to resume. The file system logs what it's about to do, which allows for insanely fast, consistent recovery without needing full, hours-long disk scans after a crash. Next is a total game changer, and that's copy on write. Instead of overwriting existing data right in place, copy on write writes new data to a completely different location, and then it just instantly updates the metadata pointer. This means zero-cost instantaneous snapshots are suddenly possible. You're just saving pointer states rather than copying gigabytes of actual files, which completely protects your VMs against partial write corruption. And finally, extents. An extent is just a contiguous range of disk blocks that are reserved for a single file. Instead of tracking every single tiny block individually, which creates massive fragmentation, extents allow a file system to just say, hey, this file owns blocks 1000 through 5000. This dramatically improves large file I/O, which is exactly what massive virtual disk files need to stay performant. Section 3, the traditional heavyweights, NTFS, ext4, and XFS. Looking at Microsoft environments, there has been a massive leap from traditional file systems to modern ones. NTFS has been the workhorse for Windows since way back in 1993, but it lacks native copy on write. So when Hyper-V takes a checkpoint on NTFS, it has to rely on really heavy differencing disks. But enter ReFS, Microsoft's resilient file system. ReFS introduced block cloning. Now, when you create a checkpoint on ReFS, it just creates a new reference to the existing blocks. A checkpoint on a massive 500 gigabyte VM that used to take minutes on NTFS, it completes in milliseconds on ReFS. It fundamentally transforms those I/O-intensive bottlenecks into near zero-cost operations. Jumping over to the Linux hypervisor world, the choices are equally distinct. XFS completely dominates Red Hat environments. Why? Because it handles massive concurrent I/O like a champ. Its internal architecture uses allocation groups, basically independent sections of the file system that can be read and written concurrently without locking each other up. It's perfect for a host running dozens of VMs. On the flip side, X4 remains the universally understood, battle-tested fallback for basic KVM deployments. It just works, It offers incredible maturity, even if it doesn't have the extreme scale and copy-on-write features of the newer systems.
Section 4. Purpose-built and HCI systems. Evolving the data store.
Let's start with ZFS, which is absolutely the gold standard for data integrity. ZFS treats integrity as a first-class concern. It uses end-to-end checksumming to detect and self-heal silent corruption without you ever even knowing it happened. Literally every single data and metadata block carries a checksum. If there's a mismatch on a read, ZFS silently fetches the correct copy from a mirror. Combine that with instantaneous copy-on-write snapshots, blazing fast inline compression, and deduplication, and you've got an incredibly sophisticated platform. All these features allow ZFS to build a totally unique structure that completely collapses the traditional storage stack. Instead of having hardware RAID, a volume manager, and a file system all acting separately, ZFS just integrates the whole shebang. You have a Z-pool as the main storage container, and inside that, you create datasets, or ZVOLs. For virtualization, ZVOLs are fascinating because they behave exactly like raw block devices, but they inherit all of ZFS's advanced features. This is exactly how Proxmox VE passes high-performance block devices directly through to virtual machines. Meanwhile, VMware tackled the massive challenge of multi-host concurrency with VMFS. VMFS was designed from day one to let multiple ESXi hosts read and write to the exact same shared storage simultaneously. It pulls this off using an ingenious on-disk locking mechanism. When one host needs to modify metadata, it locks the region, makes the change, releases it, and bam! Features like vMotion become seamlessly possible. Later, VMware evolved this with vSAN, completely eliminating the traditional SAN altogether. vSAN pulls local NVMe drives into a shared object store, completely decoupling the VM storage policy from the physical disk layout. When you compare these architectures, the most crucial takeaway is the incredible leap in storage efficiency. Raw NTFS or XFS gives you a baseline efficiency of 1.0x. Platforms like ZFS with compression bump that up significantly. But modern HCI platforms like Nutanix and Virg.io, they take it to another level entirely. Nutanix uses an intricate tiered storage stack with inline deduplication and erasure coding to hit up to 5x efficiency. VirgFS takes it even farther, pushing up to 8x efficiency through global inline deduplication across the entire cluster. Every single rate is hashed against a global index, meaning duplicate blocks are stored exactly once. That drastically reduces hardware costs. Section 5. Choosing the right file system, the decision framework.
To navigate all these options, we can use a simple 5-dimension framework as a roadmap. First up, your hypervisor platform often locks in your choice right away. vSphere needs VMFS or vSAN. Hyper-V needs REFS for storage spaces direct. Second, what are your data integrity needs? If you're storing mission-critical financial data, ZFS's end-to-end checksum is an absolute must. Third, think about scale and concurrency. Small environments can get away with almost anything, but massive 500-plus VM deployments? You need purpose-built HCI like Nutanix or VirginFS for sure. Fourth, map your budget against commercial licensing versus open source alternatives. And fifth, which might actually be the most important, your team's skills. The most technically superior file system in the world is totally useless if your team can't operate it. You have to align your choice with your team's existing expertise.
Section 6. Avoiding common pitfalls. Implementation mistakes. You absolutely have to avoid these fatal traps. First, using the wrong block size. Putting a tiny 4 kilobyte cluster on NTFS for massive VM files is going to cause extreme fragmentation and crazy metadata overhead. Second, letting snapshot chains accumulate. On VMFS and NTFS, long snapshot chains will completely choke your I/O performance. Third, enabling ZFS deduplication without realizing the massive RAM overhead it requires. A good rule of thumb is you need 1 gigabyte of RAM per terabyte of deduplicated data. Without that, your system will literally grind to a halt. And finally, data store overpopulation. Shoving too many VMs onto a single VMFS data store creates massive metadata lock contention. Spread them out. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to consider this. The journey from standard overwrite file systems to integrated hyper-converged storage has been absolutely revolutionary. As these purpose-built file systems continue to blur the lines between volume manager, RAID controller, and file allocator, is the traditional general-purpose file system as we know it about to be entirely replaced in the data center? It's a fascinating shift, but understanding these Chapter 14 foundations today will make sure you're ready to architect the virtualized environments of tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and keep learning.